Hello, and thank you for calling the Auto Glass Helpline. We haven't done one of these in a while, so we are going to do a full replacement on this 2016 Honda Civic, and we are going to do the glass prep and everything. The only thing I didn't do on video was put my seat covers and my dash cover in. Currently patiently waiting for my iron hides to get here. As soon as they get here, you will see them in my videos. So let's get started. First and foremost, the one thing you want to do before anything else is clean and prep your glass, because if anything happens to the glass while you are putting cups on it, while you are inspecting it, so forth, you do not want anything to happen to it after you get the glass out of the vehicle, or before you get the glass out of the vehicle, I should say. Something like that. Whatever. You get it. You want to make sure that your glass is good before you tear the glass out of the car. Because if something does happen to be wrong or go wrong with this, then you are pretty much screwed and you have an upset customer. So, also, whenever you are removing stickers, make sure you're holding the razor blade the right way, because if you put it the wrong way, you cut your finger, and that's never fun. Anyways, back to the show. I'm going to clean all of the adhesive off of this guy real quick. And yes, I know, gloves. Sometimes we wear them, sometimes we don't. Although at the competition, we always wear them, right guys? So, I want to clean off any marker, any sticker residue, anything like that. Make sure your glass is good and clean. Make sure you don't have any of those little block marks from the blocks that they stick on these things. And get this all wiped down. Like so. And then normally I would clean all of these windows, but this car literally just came out of detail, so I'm just going to take the dust off of this one so we can put our cup on it. Get our Pro 6 set up here to put our hook at the top of the glass here, and then we are going to align the top of our bar about the middle-ish of this mark here. We are probably going to be putting laser etching this ruler or something similar on the side of this, so you'll be able to forego painting these marks on here like I did. So I'm going to set this right there, and you are lining up this screw here with the top of your pillar here. You want it to be, if not level, a little bit tipped up, so when the weight of the glass hangs on it, it'll come down to level. Over to your new glass, and same thing, you're going to put your hook at the top here, thumb down here at the base of the bar, rotate 90 degrees, and anchor that cup. You want it to be relatively close to the edge of the glass so you can get the best reach out of this tool. Also playing with making a longer bar for that, the setting bars. Grab our cups over here. One cup down at the bottom, one cup a little bit higher, wherever it's comfortable for you. If you are ordering the Pro 6, you need to make sure that you order an extra handling cup, because this Pro 6 setup comes with a single cup and the two for that side. We'll peel off our retainer spacer here. Put that away. Give this a flip. And then give this a scrub. This one we're going to use our Beta Seal that came with our kit to do our scrub. And you can see contaminants there, some contaminants there, some there, some along here. There's almost always contaminants, regardless of whether you get OE glass or not. So you want to make sure whether it's OE or not to scrub your frit and make sure it is clean. And I am using the red Scotch-Brite. You can use the melamine sponges. If you're going to use the melamine sponges, don't use the Mr. Clean ones because they do have a chemical in them which can affect your adhesion. So make sure you get the ones that don't have any chemical additives in them. Make sure you scrub up into the frit on here because a lot of, if not most of these Hondas have that secondary bead that runs up through them. And then give this a quick wipe down. Clean off all of our frit debris here. You can see. Flip that over, and then we'll give this a quick wipe down as well. And you can see that one wiped off quick. You can see this one's got that little block mark there. I'll clean that guy off. And that is all good. Going to get our new primer sticks that they gave us. Looks like they're stepping away from the black primer on the sticks and going back to the clear primer slash activator type stuff. This stuff you're going to make a nice clean run, and you're going to do 2 laps with this all the way around. If you wind up with the little hairs stuck in it, you can take a microfiber cloth after it flashes off and wipe all that away. And we're going to go ahead and do a full-size run here, because I don't ever remember which of these Hondas has the partial bead and which of them have the full bead across it. So that, and now let's dismantle our cowling. Oh, I lied. The other thing I did was I already took off the mirror, which was just your typical what was that? It was just the mirror tool, T15-ish, T20, to get the mirror off of there. Set that aside. Throw some gloves on. Like I said, this thing just came out of detail, and I really hate all the greasy Armor All stuff that they stick all over this thing, and I don't like it on my hands. So dirt I don't mind, Armor All not so much. These loose, set them under here where we won't step on them. And then we're going to take our TRT here, pop this guy loose. Come on, you can do it. If it doesn't want to pop like that, you can take the TRT and your ever-present screwdriver and lift from the other side. That'll release that. You can leave that guy stuck in there. Same thing over here. Pull that loose and leave him there. And then we got our little one right here. We're going to slide our ever-present screwdriver behind that, pop those little corner pieces out of there, and then just peel that out like so. And go ahead and start our lift on our cowling. Plenty of dirt stuck in there. Again, if you're going to run your hands along this blade, make sure you have gloves on, because these things can be sharp and they will lay you open. No, I have not done that yet. So, same thing over here. Pop this little guy out, release that corner, and we're going to lift that one out like so. And then these cowlings have the tabs underneath them here, so you don't want to just lift up on that and break those. So we're going to lift up that lip, slide it towards us, pull one side out and then the other. Set that guy down. Then we're going to take our blade. Sometimes you can lift these out and peel them out. When they start to get deteriorated like this, you can't really do that. So we're just going to bypass that and cut this guy loose all the way across here. You're going to go all the way down till you feel it hit the body. Lift it up just a little bit so you don't scratch the body. Same thing down the side here. Get all the way down. And yeah, a lot of times the line will just cut through this, but I don't like wearing my line out that fast. So throw that over there. Lift this guy out like so. And peel this broken up rubber corner out of here. And over to the other side. Same thing over here. Lift this guy out. Pick that up later. And we can deal with that. That'll slip right underneath that. Lift this little rubber corner out of here. Pick that out of here. There we go. Why are you beeping? Because you have an actual key. And pick up that mess here in a minute. Grab our screwdriver or drill, our drag, our threading tool, and our dash protectors, along with our bat, obviously. Set these all aside here. Let that run for a second. Then we're going to push this through. We're going to go just to the side of our retainer there, like so. Drag that out. Throw our dash guards in here real quick. And grab this little loop here. Then this one, since Hondas sit on top of the pinch weld, we're going to lace that right underneath the retainer rather than go through the retainer like we do on Toyotas and some other vehicles. Just going to lay this right underneath that retainer and make sure we're under the glass on the corner here, not between the layers. Pull that tight. Same thing up here. Make sure you are under the glass and not between the layers like they are right now. So we want to push this down and make sure you go under the glass. Back to our other side. lay this up along the roof, and then this one again between the layer, or sorry, under the layers of glass, between the glass and the molding if you can, and then cut it out. Got our drag, got our drill, and start cutting. When you pull up your slack in this, depending on how much you have, make sure you're not hooked around any of the controls here or the vents or anything, because the string does not care about plastic. Grab your drag again, and then we're going to hit that secondary bead as we're cutting across the bottom. As soon as you hit that, go ahead and stop, because your optimum cutting angle is not going to be effective. Or sorry, you're not going to be effective because you won't have an optimum cutting angle once you hit that coming across this way. Pretty much right there. Push these over a little bit. Move that over, that over. Gonna bring this over, and we're gonna set it right about the same spot, somewhere halfway-ish between your pillar cover and your mirror bracket. Turn our pump back on and let that draw down. Going to finish our top cut first, because let's see if this will work. If you use your bottom cut first, a lot of times what will happen is you'll start to drag across the top, and if you're not paying attention, you can cut into the headliner. So we're gonna push this up here. And if I was holding this, it's not gonna do it today. The glue on the bottom is not as thick. So at any rate, typically what you wanna do is you wanna finish your top cut first to avoid cutting into that headliner. Like so. Then we'll finish coming around the bottom here. Getting a little close to the pillar cover, so we're going to thumb that up out of the way, like so, and we are loose. Lift our windshield out, get this thing trimmed up, like that. Everything back here. When you lift your glass out, make sure you are close to vertical so it doesn't fold on you. You can see those cracks spread pretty quick. Make sure we're all clean over here. Go ahead and close that. Grab our blades, a rag, and some glass cleaner. And lay our blades out. Pull out any little bits of molding that you still have, so you can get a nice clean pinch weld. Take a brush, just use a cheap hardware store paintbrush. Brush as much of this stuff out as you can. And then we're going to spray this first, because we don't want to add any contaminants to our nice freshly trimmed urethane. Nice and cleaned off. And give this a trim. Like so. Come back around using our WRD handles And our WRD Stingray blades. These like to, they don't bite into the paint job on that little roll right inside here. So if you're cutting right up against that edge, it glides right along there without chewing up the paint or digging into the corner where it rolls up onto the body. Switch sides here. Pull out our little chunks of molding that we have left over. Give this a quick brush. You got that guide pin if you happen to pop it off of there. Get all that heavy stuff out of there. And if there's any way that Beta Seal can make a spray nozzle that works in any direction, like the paint cans do now, it'd be a question for them. Give this a quick wipe down here. Then finish our trim. If you have any residual dirt or dust there, you can take your dry microfiber and then wipe that all down if you need to. Finish our little trim up here, down inside those little coves. Peel that out. The rest of our urethane. Roll this all up. Go ahead and grab all of this stuff on the ground while we're at it. Set that. Grab a clean microfiber. Give this another quick little wipe down to make sure we got any residuals off of it. Then to take our black primer here, our 5504, and touch up any spots we need to on here. Usually where the body filler is, it's kind of hard to avoid trimming away little spots from the body filler. You do not want to prime over the top of the glue line, because your best adhesion is new urethane to old urethane. So we're just trying to cover any scratches anywhere where we've taken off the clear coat or the body filler or the paint. Any scratches we might have, we're going to make this line a little bit wider right there, and we should be good to go. That's going to sit for 2 minutes. And then in the meantime, like I said, I know it just came out of detail, so go ahead and clean any dust off of these because it's pretty windy here since we're waiting for that primer to flash off. That is not my razor blade, but somebody left it there. Looks like this one has a little paint issue on the back here. Just wiping these down. And let's shoot some glue. You know, we're going to use more than just the tube we have there, so we'll clip that guy and get him ready. Blow out the end there. And make sure you're vertical using our Power Push 6000 AGR. A new-ish gun from Maritool. Okay, wobbly on that corner there. Missed it by that much, but we knew that was going to happen, so clean that off and give this a swap here. We haven't had any problem with dry boogers in these ones lately, so get a nice clean seam there. Nice clean seam there. And then we're going to shoot the body on here because we don't have a good map as to where this is going to go. Wipe that clean before we drop that back in our holster. Add a couple pieces of tape here. Put that back. Take our setting bar, drop that back in there, double check all of our cups, make sure our seals are good, our cups are tight. Lift the glass off here, hang your hook, and make sure when you're setting this you're carrying the same angle as the body. Drop that in like so. Over here, I'll pop that window cup off of there. And then watch your top, make sure you're on your dirt line. Pull this over a little bit. And then deck it down. Tape there, pull that other side up a little bit. Give this a little drag back over, pull this up to our dirt line. We're decked across the bottom. Since we're already on this side, gonna drop in here, put our mirror back on. Maybe. There we go. done inside, so we can pull all these guys out of here. Pop our cups. I'll deal with those off camera. Hang that back up. Grab my gloves. And put everything back together. Grab our cowling. And we're going to go ahead and clean this off because we want this to be a nice tight fit. Don't pop any dirt out of there. Go ahead and give this a quick little spray. Use our microfiber cloth to clean that up. Make sure we got a nice clean rib there. And then we're also going to take a dauber here, a little WD-40. Hondas, you don't usually have to do both the retainer and the cowling. Volkswagens and Audis, on the other hand, tend to be a lot tighter. So if you're doing a Volkswagen or an Audi, make sure you lube both sides of this rib, or at least run it right down the top edge of the rib like this. That way you get it on both sides, and then you're going to want to put some on that retainer as well, because the retainers on Volkswagens and Audis tend to be very tight. So get our other corner up in there. Gonna make sure we get our hooks underneath our pinch weld down here, and then just snap that in nice and easy like so. Take this guy and plug him in. Here we're going to snap this in, grab our wipers, put our wipers back on, don't need that one yet, and always hand start any nuts or bolts that you put on, because if you do it with the tool, then it is more likely to cross thread, and then you have a whole new set of problems. Caps back on here. You can drop the hood because we're done under there. And we're just going to tuck these guys right underneath the fender, and then grab our little caps. And these are side specific, so you have one that has a rib on the top and a rib on the side, and then you have one that has a rib on the top and a rib on the bottom. Also, if you look, one says right, one says left. So your right side one is on here, this side. Snap that in. Here we'll tuck that guy in, make sure that's all nice and even, and snap that guy in like so. Pull your tape because we have a retainer holding it in place. You don't need the tape to stay on there. Clean your cup marks off, and that is replacing a windshield in a 2016 Honda Civic. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.